Have you ever felt like there's something more to your life than meets the eye, like you have a purpose that goes beyond the daily grind? Well, what if I told you that you are one of the chosen ones? What if the reason people are drawn to you and why your energy feels different is because you carry within you a divine power, an authority unlike anything this world can comprehend? Let me take you back to a time when I had no idea of my true potential. I was walking through life, just like everyone else, not realizing that I was being called for something greater. It wasn't until I hit a rock bottom, one of those moments where you question everything, your path, your purpose, that the universe began to whisper the truth to me. Maybe you've been there too. Maybe you felt that still, quiet voice urging you to rise, to step into something far bigger than yourself. What I'm about to share with you is not just a story. It's your story too. The truth is, you've always had this power within you. It's always been there. But now, it's time for you to recognize it, to embrace it, and to walk boldly in it. Your divine purpose isn't just a concept, it's the very essence of who you are. And today, we're going to unlock that power together. Recognizing the divine authority. I'll never forget the first time I truly understood that I was walking with divine authority. It wasn't some grand revelation. It happened in a small moment, one I nearly overlooked. I was standing in a crowded room, just having a regular conversation with a friend, when I noticed something unusual. People around us were listening, not just hearing the words, but absorbing them. It felt like the atmosphere shifted, like a light had been turned on in the midst of that conversation. Have you ever felt that way, when everything you say seems to resonate deeply with others, and they look to you for answers? It was then I realized the authority I carried wasn't something I earned. It was something God had placed within me from the moment I was born. This wasn't authority from status or power. It was a divine calling, a deep spiritual presence that bent the atmosphere around me. I began to notice how people responded differently when I entered a room. It was as though they could sense something, an energy, a wisdom, a comfort that came from a place far beyond me. That is your divine authority. It's the power you don't have to chase. It's the power you were born with. And when you recognize it, you'll find that your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. It's not a power you can fake or manipulate. It's an authentic spiritual force that flows through you. A direct connection to the divine. People feel it, even if they can't explain why. And when you step fully into this power, your presence alone becomes a blessing to others. It's no accident that you are a beacon. You are here to lead, guide, and inspire, not by force, but by the authority God has already entrusted to you. The weight of the calling. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the weight of your calling, like the responsibility of being the chosen one was too much to bear? I've been there. There's a moment in every chosen one's journey when the enormity of the responsibility becomes clear. You begin to realize that you are not just living for yourself, but for the countless others whose lives you are meant to touch. It's heavy, isn't it? Knowing that people are watching you, waiting for guidance, seeking hope. But there's beauty in this weight. When I first realized the depth of my calling, I was afraid. I was terrified of failing, of letting people down. But what I came to understand, what I had to learn, is that this calling is not a burden, it's a privilege. The weight is not there to crush you, but to refine you, to shape you into the leader you are meant to be. And with this weight comes clarity. You start to see the world differently. You see the struggles people face, and you realize that your light is meant to shine for them. The weight is also a constant reminder that you are not here by accident. You are not here just to exist. You are here to serve, to uplift, to guide. And when you begin to accept the responsibility that comes with your divine authority, you will feel the strength to carry it. So if you're feeling the weight right now, if you're questioning whether you're enough for the calling, know this: you were made for this. You've been prepared long before you even knew. And the more you embrace your role, the lighter that weight will feel, because you'll know you don't carry it alone. The magnetism you carry. People are drawn to you. They may not fully understand why, but they are. It's like an invisible force pulling them in, and they just can't seem to stay away. It happens to me all the time. Whether it's strangers on the street or people I've known for years, they all seem to gravitate toward me, wanting advice, comfort, or simply to be near my energy. And I know you've experienced it too. There's a magnetism you carry, a divine presence that people can sense, even if they don't understand it. I remember when I was younger, I used to think it was something I was doing, some trick I had learned. But as I grew spiritually, I realized that it wasn't me, it was the divine energy within me. Have you ever felt like someone just gets you, even when they don't know your full story? That's the effect you have on others. They see your light, your energy, and they feel drawn to it. It's a subtle but undeniable force. People may come to you with their struggles, their doubts, their questions, because they sense that your presence brings clarity. You are a living magnet of hope and transformation. Whether you realize it or not, you are inspiring people by simply existing, by being authentic in your spiritual journey. And as you continue to embrace this divine authority, that magnetism will only grow stronger. People will look to you as their anchor in the storm, their guide out of darkness. And that's not a coincidence. It's your divine calling unfolding before your eyes. Spiritual gifts and divine tools. The spiritual gifts you carry are not just random abilities, they are tools given to you for a greater purpose. These gifts are extensions of the divine authority you were born with. Whether it's the gift of prophecy, healing, or deep spiritual insight, each gift is meant to guide, protect, and uplift others. I can recall a time when I had a vision, one of those experiences that went beyond the ordinary. It was so clear, so vivid, that I knew it wasn't just my mind. It was a message, a divine revelation meant to help someone in need. These moments are not coincidences, they are your spiritual tools. You may have gifts you haven't fully recognized yet, or perhaps you've been doubting them. But trust me, they are real. They are part of your spiritual DNA. And when you start to embrace them, you will see how they flow naturally through your life. Your gifts become a way for you to not only help others, but also to connect deeper with the divine. But here's something you might not have known. The more you use your gifts for others, the more they amplify. It's like an endless flow of divine energy. You may have a gift for healing, for listening, for teaching. Whatever it is, it's a divine tool that you are meant to wield. Don't be afraid to step into these gifts. Don't shrink back out of fear. The world needs your light, and these gifts are how you share it. The sun metaphor, illuminating the darkness. Imagine this, you are the sun in a world full of shadows. Your light, your energy has the power to banish darkness, to give life, to restore hope. Just like the sun rises every day, your light is meant to shine for others. I realized this truth during one of the darkest times in my life. I was struggling, feeling like I had nothing left to give. But then I remembered the sun. Even when the clouds cover it, the sun is still there, shining brightly, just waiting to break through. You too are like the sun. You have an undeniable power within you to light up the world around you. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere shifts. People's hearts are lightened, their burdens eased. Have you ever noticed that? The way the tension in a room can dissolve when you simply show up with your presence, that's your light at work. But here's the thing about being the sun. It's not always easy. There will be times when you feel clouded, when you feel like your light is dimming. But just like the sun, you don't lose your power in those moments. Your light is still there, even if it's hidden for a time. And the world needs your light, whether you realize it or not. So, when you feel like you can't shine, remember that the sun never stops shining, it just waits for the clouds to part. The spiritual battle, darkness cannot stand in your light. Every chosen one faces a battle. The darkness will try to overtake you to silence your light. You may feel it, those moments when doubt creeps in, when fear tries to overshadow your divine calling. But remember this, darkness cannot stand in your light. You may face opposition, negativity, or even spiritual attacks, but with every challenge you face, you become stronger. Your light grows brighter. There's a spiritual force in you, a power that the darkness cannot comprehend. I've been through battles, times when everything seemed to go wrong, and yet I could feel the divine strength within me, pushing me through. And I know you have too. Every time you stand firm, every time you resist the darkness, you're claiming your divine authority. The more you step into your light, the more the enemy will try to fight back. But remember, it's not your strength alone that wins this battle. It's the divine energy within you that holds the ultimate power. Stand firm. The darkness may try to intimidate you, but it cannot defeat the light you carry. Walking with divine protection. Have you ever felt like something was guarding you, even when it seemed like everything around you was falling apart? I can remember a time in my life when I was in the midst of a storm, both spiritually and emotionally. It felt like the world was closing in, and yet there was this strange calm around me. I couldn't explain it then, but I can now. It was divine protection, an unseen shield that surrounded me and kept me safe. Even in the most trying times, there were moments when I felt completely vulnerable, like I was standing in the middle of a battlefield, and yet I was untouched by the arrows of doubt and fear that flew my way. I realized then that divine protection doesn't always look like an obvious shield of light. Sometimes it's quiet. It's that whisper in your ear telling you to move in a certain direction or stay still when you'd rather take action. It's the strength you find in your weakest moments. The peace that comes when all you want to do is panic. The truth is, divine protection is always with you. When you walk in alignment with your purpose, when you trust in the divine calling over your life, a protective force surrounds you. It's not about avoiding difficulties, but about knowing that, even when challenges come, you are shielded by a higher power. It's about understanding that nothing, no force, can touch you unless you allow it. Have you experienced that feeling when everything around you seems like it's falling apart, yet you remain untouched, still standing firm? That's the divine protection working in your life. It's there to guide you, to keep you safe, and to remind you that you are never truly alone. The moment you surrender to this protection is the moment you'll truly begin to feel the strength of the divine power surrounding you. The power of surrender, letting divine energy flow through you. Surrender, that word used to terrify me. I used to think that surrendering meant giving up, admitting defeat, or losing control. But the truth is, surrendering isn't about losing anything, it's about gaining everything. I remember when I first truly surrendered to God's will. It wasn't easy. I had to let go of my ego, my desire to control every outcome, and my fear of what might happen next. One of the most pivotal moments in my life was when I realized that trying to control everything was only limiting my power. The more I tried to hold onto things, the more I felt drained, stuck, and disconnected from my true purpose. It wasn't until I let go that I began to feel the divine energy flow through me. It was like opening a valve that had been tightly shut for years. Suddenly, my life became a channel for something much greater than myself. Surrender is not about weakness. It's the ultimate act of strength. It's trusting that the divine plan for your life is far greater than anything you could ever create for yourself. I know it's scary at first. Letting go feels risky, but what I've learned is that the more I surrender to divine energy, the more I feel the power within me. It's like being plugged into an infinite source of wisdom and strength. When you surrender, you stop fighting against the current. You allow yourself to be carried by the divine flow. And when you let go of the need to control everything, that's when the miracles start happening. You start seeing doors open, opportunities arise, and everything begins to fall into place. Not because you're forcing it, but because you're allowing the divine to work through you. Have you ever felt that release? That moment when you let go of your fears and trust the divine to guide you? That's the power of surrender. When you fully surrender, you'll feel the divine energy flow through you, guiding you toward your highest purpose, embracing your role as a guide and leader. Have you ever felt like you were meant to lead, like you have wisdom inside you that others desperately need, even if they don't know it yet? I remember the first time I realized I was being called to lead. It hit me like a wave. It wasn't because I was the loudest in the room or the most qualified. It was because I had something deeper, something divine that others needed to hear. It was as if the universe was saying, "You are the one to guide them." Being a leader isn't about titles or recognition. It's about showing up even when you don't feel ready. It's about holding space for others, offering guidance, and sharing your light in the darkest of times. I've had my doubts about whether I was truly fit to lead, but over time, I realized that leadership isn't about perfection. It's about vulnerability, compassion, and standing firm in your purpose. The divine has given you a role, a responsibility. And it's not something to take lightly, but it's also not something to fear. The world needs leaders who are connected to a higher power, leaders who are not afraid to stand in their truth, even when it's hard. The power of being a guide comes not from your strength, but from the divine force that works through you. There will be times when you'll doubt yourself, when you'll wonder if you're truly qualified to lead. But I promise you, if you feel that calling within you, it's because you were chosen for this role. Trust in your purpose. Embrace your role as a guide. The world is waiting for your leadership, and you have everything you need to step into it. Have you felt that call? The quiet voice inside you urging you to take the lead, to step into the role you were always meant for? Trust it. Step into it. You are ready, and the world needs your leadership now more than ever. Opposition and envy, the price of light. The brighter your light, the more opposition you will face. It's a truth that I've come to accept, even when it's difficult. People may not always understand your journey. They may see your light as a threat to their own, and they may react with jealousy, envy, or even hostility. I've experienced it myself, people trying to dim my light, making me question my worth, or even questioning my motives. But here's what I've learned. Opposition is not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of their own struggles. Envy arises when others feel threatened by what you carry. They see your light, and instead of embracing it, they resist it. They project their fears, insecurities, and limitations onto you. But when you understand this, you stop taking it personally. You realize that the opposition you face is not about you. It's about the darkness within them that can't handle the brightness of your light. It's not always easy to handle opposition, especially when it comes from people you care about. But when you rise above the negativity, when you continue to shine despite the resistance, you grow stronger. Your light becomes even more powerful, and the divine protects you every step of the way. The key is not to let the opposition shake you. Stand firm in your truth, knowing that your light is needed and that the divine is with you even when others don't understand. Have you ever felt the sting of envy or opposition? It's painful, but it's also a sign that you're walking in your purpose. The world tries to silence what it fears, but you are stronger than any opposition. Keep shining. The more you shine, the more the darkness has to retreat. Manifestation and alignment with divine purpose. Manifestation is one of the most powerful tools available to you as a chosen one. But it's not just about wishing for material things or superficial desires. True manifestation comes from aligning your will with the will of God. It's about co-creating with the divine to bring about the life you were meant to live. I've seen it happen in my own life, times when everything I desired seemed out of reach. But then, as I aligned my thoughts, my actions, and my heart with the divine, the pieces began to fall into place. Manifestation isn't about force, it's about flow. When you align yourself with divine purpose, when you trust the process and let go of the need to control everything, miracles begin to unfold. I can think of countless moments when I surrendered my desires to the divine and watched as things manifested effortlessly. Not because I was trying to make them happen, but because I was in alignment with the flow of the universe. The power of manifestation comes when you trust that the divine knows exactly what you need, even more than you do. When you stop chasing and start trusting, that's when the magic happens. Your connection to the divine is the key that unlocks everything you've ever wanted. And when you align your actions with your purpose, when you step into your role as a spiritual leader, manifestation becomes second nature. Have you experienced manifestation in your life? That moment when everything seemed to align perfectly, as if the universe was working with you, that's the power of divine alignment. Trust in it, lean into it, and watch as your life unfolds in miraculous ways. The importance of community, standing together as chosen ones. I'll never forget the first time I felt truly supported by a community of like-minded individuals. I was on a journey of personal growth, grappling with the weight of my calling and trying to navigate the challenges of being a chosen one. It was a time of deep isolation, as I wasn't sure who to turn to, but then I found a group, people who understood, who shared the same spiritual path, the same divine calling. It changed everything. Have you ever experienced the power of belonging to a group that truly understands you? There's something incredibly powerful about being surrounded by others who walk a similar path. It's not just about sharing experiences. It's about elevating one another's spirits, offering strength when someone falters, and standing as a unified force in a world that often feels divided. The truth is, no matter how strong or divinely empowered we are not meant to walk this journey alone. The chosen ones are meant to come together to amplify each other's light. When we connect with others who resonate with the same divine frequency, we create a community of spiritual strength, support, and mutual growth. I've found that when I stand with my fellow chosen ones, there's a synergy that cannot be replicated on my own. We rise together, pushing one another to embrace our divine authority and calling. But it's not always easy to find that community. It can feel like you're on the outside looking in, trying to figure out where you belong. Yet, when you do find your soul tribe, your fellow chosen ones, something extraordinary happens. It's like coming home. You begin to realize that you are part of a greater purpose. Together, we are more powerful than we are alone. This connection allows us to overcome obstacles, share wisdom, and celebrate our successes as a united front. Have you found your community yet? If not, I encourage you to seek it out. The world needs your light, but the world also needs the collective power of those who walk this spiritual path together. Embrace the support, embrace the power of community, and watch how it magnifies your own light. Spiritual tools for empowerment. When I first began to walk in my divine purpose, I felt like there were so many forces pulling me in different directions. I was overwhelmed by the intensity of my calling, unsure of how to manage the energy, doubts, and fears that came with it. But then I discovered something truly transformative: spiritual tools. Spiritual tools are the instruments that help us stay aligned, grounded, and connected to our divine purpose. I started with simple practices: meditation, prayer, and reflection. Each one was a way for me to tap into the deeper, unseen power within. But over time, I realized that there were more tools at my disposal: crystals, essential oils, rituals, and more, that helped amplify my energy and enhance my spiritual clarity. The first tool I discovered was meditation. It wasn't a magical cure-all, but it was a way for me to silence the noise of the outside world and tune in to the divine frequency within me. Through meditation, I began to understand that the more I connected with my inner self, the more I could align with the greater divine force guiding me. I also started using crystals, specifically amethyst and lapis lazuli. These stones became powerful allies in my spiritual journey, helping me stay grounded and clear. Amethyst became my protector, helping to shield me from negative energy, while lapis lazuli opened my throat chakra, giving me the strength to speak my truth. These tools aren't magic in themselves, they are conduits, channels that help us connect with the divine, with the universe, and with our own higher selves. I've come to understand that spiritual tools don't replace the power within us, they enhance it. The more I used them, the clearer my path became. Whether it's crystals, meditation, prayer, or something else entirely, I want to remind you that these tools are available to you. They can help you harness your divine power and amplify the light you carry. And as you continue to grow in your spiritual journey, you'll discover that the right tools for empowerment will find their way to you, just like they did for me. What tools are you using in your spiritual journey? What has helped you stay grounded and aligned with your purpose? Start exploring and see how the right tools can elevate your divine power. Living in alignment, walking in divine power. There was a time in my life when I felt completely out of alignment. I was going through the motions, doing what I thought I should do, but I wasn't truly living in my power. I was disconnected from the divine guidance that had always been within me, and I struggled to understand why nothing seemed to flow smoothly. Then, one day, something shifted. It wasn't an overnight change, but a gradual realization that I had to live authentically, in alignment with the divine purpose that was calling me. I had to stop pretending to be someone I wasn't and start fully embracing the person I was born to be. Living in alignment isn't about being perfect. It's about living in a way that honors your soul, honors the divine energy within you, and honors the mission you've been given. It's about aligning your actions, thoughts, and energy with the higher purpose you were created to fulfill. When you live in alignment, you stop forcing things to happen. You trust that what is meant for you will come, and that your divine power will guide you to the right opportunities and experiences. I remember when I began to walk in alignment with my higher purpose, everything started to flow with ease. The challenges didn't disappear, but they became manageable because I was walking in my truth. If you're struggling to find your alignment, I encourage you to take a moment to check in with yourself. Are you living in accordance with your divine purpose? Are your actions, thoughts, and decisions aligned with your higher calling? When you step into alignment, you'll begin to feel the divine power flowing through you in ways that transform your life. Conclusion: walking boldly in your light. As we reach the end of this journey together, I want to remind you of something deeply important. You are not meant to hide your light. There's a world out there that desperately needs what you carry. Your light, your truth, your divine authority. These are gifts that you were born to share with others. It can be easy to doubt yourself, to shrink back, to wonder if you're truly worthy of the divine power you carry. But I'm here to tell you, you are worthy. You were chosen for this moment, for this purpose, and for this mission. And the world is waiting for you to step fully into it. When you walk boldly in your light, you inspire others to do the same. You show them what it looks like to live in alignment with divine purpose. You become a beacon of hope, a source of healing, and a force for good in a world that so desperately needs it. Remember, walking in your light doesn't mean everything will always be easy. You will face opposition, you will face challenges, but those things will only strengthen you. Your light was meant to shine through the darkness, to illuminate the path for others, and to remind them that they too are chosen. So I ask you today, are you ready to walk boldly in your light? Are you ready to step into your divine power and embrace the calling that's been placed on your life? Because the world needs you, the time is now, a legacy of light. As we wrap up this journey, I want you to remember something powerful. You are leaving behind a legacy. Not just any legacy, but a legacy of light. A light that will inspire generations to come, a light that will transform lives, and a light that will heal the world. Every step you take, every decision you make in alignment with your divine purpose creates ripples that extend far beyond what you can see. Your journey as a chosen one is not just about you, it's about the impact you will leave on the world. It's about the lives you will touch, the hearts you will heal, and the future you will shape. And when you step into your full power, when you walk boldly in your light, you will leave behind a legacy that echoes throughout time. So walk boldly, shine brightly. Know that the legacy you create today will continue to shine long after you're gone. You are the light in this world, and your legacy will be one of love, healing, and divine purpose.